So I will admit though, and I'm gonna be honest, sometimes it is hard having Rudel on the podcast with her being the youngest, because it's like, what do we talk about besides Happy Meals? It's like, it's hard to relate.
Shots fired.
Oh my god.
All right, but I do have a question for you guys before we begin.
Okay.
And I know it's gonna sound a little weird, but just hear me out before you judge, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, wow, you see that is judging. That is judging, madam.
Right, open mind. Whoosh.
Yeah,
okay.
open mind. So I just want to say what I gotta say, and you guys could tear into me afterwards. You know how they say, well, what's the deal with modern dating? That's what I want to know, because they say chivalry is dead, and I'm just, you wouldn't believe how confused I am about this. I go on a date with this girl, and I held the door open for her. And I thought, like, oh, I was doing something good. She'll be like, oh, wow, no one ever done that for me before. But instead of praising me, she just yelled as she flew out the plane. Could you believe that?
Wow.
I did not see where that was going. I was going to say, never held the door open for someone. That's such a thing here in Canada.
Yeah.
You always hold the door open for someone, even if you don't know them.
Right. It's
Then
not
you
just
went
like
airplane.
I know. I was like, wait, what?
And with that, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 5 of the Digital Arcade Podcast. Welcome in.
Woo!
Yay.
Rudel, sound the drums.
Where are they? I need to have them open.
Hey,
we have to get
go.
real drums. We need to get real drums.
We have the highest budget known to man. But welcome in, everyone. It is I, Brandon, aka the Voltic Ace, the protagonist of this podcast, and I'm joined again by some awesome streamers. So starting us off, it is the one, the only Queen of the North, Miss Rudel Poodle.
Da 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 da. It's I, the captainist of the rudiest rudes. I don't know what that one was. I'm losing my voice today too. Anyway, welcome back to episode 5. There we go. Of our lovely podcast. Today, we have a special guest today, and I'm finally not the only woman or girl, whatever we are, on this podcast. There's finally someone else here who can share in my agony with working with men. And I would like to introduce to you guys the lovely Mel.
Hi. I'm Mel. Or Melanie. Call me whatever.
Well, welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys.
You know what? It's good to have you. And listeners, you will address Mel as queen, because she is the queen of the boba. So we all bow to the boba,
down.
Right?
I bow down.
Boba queen. Yes, I love boba. So, yeah.
But Melanie, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. What do you do? What do you stream? Who are you?
Yes. So yeah, my name is Melanie. I am a mother of 2, 11-year-old and 8-year-old. So I got into streaming actually just a couple years ago, like during the time of when COVID happened, the pandemic and all that. But I've always been a gamer, so it's something that never crossed my mind with streaming until my cousin introduced it to me during the pandemic, and never thought I would love to be in front of the camera speaking to random strangers, but I found it really fun and enjoying it. So I'm just stream when I can. I play a variety of games. Right now my focus is story-rich RPGs and then survival horror multiplayer games with friends. Yeah, and I stream when I can. So 'cause I have kids and they're about to start school up here soon.
Ooh, you must be excited for that.
I am, because it's a little more quiet time for me. So it's nice.
Hey, sounds good.
Yeah.
More time for you to game as well. And on the horror aspect, I will say, Mel, I'm trying to remember what game it was. I don't know if you remember, but it was on Thursday, I want to say. You were streaming, and I told you I was packing. I was getting ready to leave for a trip. And I swear to you, I was hearing you scream from the other room. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yes,
Hey!
I'm very known to scream a lot during those horror games. I just can't help it. It just comes out.
Do you have
But
those sound alerts that like your
Yes,
chat can scare you with?
absolutely.
That's
Yes,
always
and
good me.
but
they take
ladies,
advantage of that.
speaking of Scream, we all scream for Ice.
I
Code VSOP.
scream!
Welcome in,
Oh,
Ice. Welcome in.
you
Transition
really
King.
are. You are still a villain after all this time. Good
What?
to know.
Wow,
I
the
think he did
slander.
introduce himself as the hero too again.
Mel, you see
Right.
how
Lying
I
to the
get
people.
jumped?
I know.
I love it. I
My
love
partner in crime is here. We gotta tear him down.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wait a
In
minute.
there, you said, "Oh yeah,
Ice, didn't
oh
you?
yeah, there, bud."
Ice, I thought you joined my side after the blasphemy from what Rudel said on the last episode.
I'll never be on your side, Ace. No matter
But
what Rudel does.
but she eats
Oh
pineapple
shit!
on
I gotta
pizza.
pass.
We team Rudel over here. You didn't know?
Yes.
I'll be on your side, Baltic.
Thank you so much. And you see,
No.
chat,
There's
that
no way that can last. There's no way that can last.
you see,
You know, I'm
chat.
kind of glad we're not doing girls versus guys because that's such a horrible cliche that's overused.
Yeah.
Speaking of our first game, No.
Oh,
But Ice, Mel, Ice. So welcome in, everyone.
Hi.
To
And
meet you.
this is episode 5. So yeah, we made it for 5 whole episodes, and we got a lot to talk about. So if you guys are ready, let's jump into it. Oh, well, actually, before that, I need to ask you, Rudel, personally.
mm-hmm.
How is
Listening.
Baldur's Gate 3? I am watching
Oh
from outside, and I
my
want the game so bad.
God, it's so good. Like I cannot. So I play D&D, right? And it's literally like D&D, but for like video game. And I don't know. It's just incredible. Like, and it runs so well. Like I have a really old, like 7-8-year-old laptop. I call that really old. And like I have the graphics set to like ultra on all of them, which is rare for me to be able to do that. And it runs just so beautifully. And like there's not really any bugs. And I don't know. I really love it. The storytelling is so rich and like it's just so deep and like thorough with like the choices you make and like what matters and what doesn't matter. Like you kill a fucking butterfly. Oh, sorry. A freaking butterfly. And like there'll just be like consequences for it later. It's so weird, but it's so good. And like the combat is so nice. If you like turn-based combat, because it's literally D&D combat. Like it's so good. I highly recommend it to everyone to get. It is worth the price tag.
That's cool.
I
Yeah.
think she likes it, guys.
Dang, sorry, I had to go on a little rant there. What's it when it's like a happy rant? Spiel?
Yes.
Well, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. And I need to talk to you about that offline because oh gosh, I'm seeing so much things. I got so much questions and yeah. But with that being said, guys, I want to move into our first segment. We're introducing a new game, first time to the Digital Arcade Podcast. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Drum roll, please, Rudel.
I'm going.
Hey, and if you didn't know, Rudel's officially our sound hand here on set.
I'll get a real soundboard one of these days.
Okay, so with that being said, let me swap on over. Give me 1 sec, guys. All right, so I present to you a first segment called Video Game or Florida.
Oh, Florida man strikes again.
All right, so this is how the game's going to work, guys. I'm going to present to you a short antidote, and you have to tell me, is it a character or plot from a video game, or is it from Florida? Mind you, some of these are going to be a little bit out there, but it's Florida.
This is supposed to be memey enough for me to understand.
Yeah.
All right, so let me get this document here, and then I'll get to it. All right, so here we go, and yeah, you have been warned. These are all, the Florida stories are all real, kind of recent too, so what a world we live in. All right, here we go, guys. First one, Man breaks into a house, cleans it, and leaves behind origami. So my question is that from a video game? Or is it Florida?
What?
Oh no, because like I feel like that's definitely a video game, but at the same time, I
Right.
feel like that's Florida for sure.
And if you
Absolutely,
need...
Florida. That's my final answer.
Alright, so Ice is for Florida. Mel?
Florida.
The thing is,
Okay.
I've recently played it. It was like a ghost hunting game where you went in and cleaned with ghosts trying to kill you and then left. And I feel like if there's a game like that, there's definitely a game where you just go in and put origami around the
makes sense.
area.
That makes
I don't know though. I'm gonna go Florida because that's so silly.
Oh, everyone says Florida, and you guys would be correct. It
Yay.
is Florida.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's the
weird.
national sound of Florida right there.
Is that like a calling card? They
So-
like put their business info in the origami cranes or whatever.
Ridiculous. So in 2019, a man broke into another person's home and cleaned everything in the house, including spreading the bed, scrubbing the toilets, and lastly, the intruder left behind an origami roses on toilet paper rolls.
Yeah, actually, I think I heard this one. That's why.
The tidy bandit. Like, do you even lock your doors at that point? It's like, oh no, come on in.
No, exactly.
I'm hosting a party on Friday. Yeah, sure. All right, well, good job.
I would love to know if they ever caught him.
That is a very good question. Now, I didn't look too deep because I just
Probably gonna
wanted to be the
fingerprints.
mystery of Florida. I want to think he's still at large, just cleaning people's houses.
Watch out, the cleaner's gonna get you.
It's like Mr. Clean mixed with Batman, just together. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
They call him Petunia.
Petunia. All right, so second one. Man is constantly tormented by his nemesis, a crocodile who bit off the man's hand previously. After consuming his hand, the crocodile liked the taste of it so much that it has been in constant pursuit of the man ever since. So is it... Huh?
Absolutely not real.
That
Yeah,
crocodile
really?
would have been put down for sure. 100% game.
So when you tell us if it's true or not, Ace, I want to step in real quick and tell you what I think that is.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
but I'm going false.
Okay.
Not Florida for right now.
Okay.
I mean, I say game as well because I mean it's a trick because you hear crocodile and man and you think Florida, but I'm gonna say video game because that's kind of crazy. One crocodile going after the same man.
Yeah.
They are
I'm
alphas.
definitely going with
But I don't know.
video game. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but if like an animal like eats human at all, like
Yeah.
in Canada, it's immediately just put down no matter if it's like a house cat or like a dog or something. Like
What house
it's
cat is
just-
eating people, Rudel?
say you're like an elderly lady who passes away like in her sleep and she's got a cat that munches on her.
Ew.
Like that cat is now just, boom, goodbye.
And that's why
Because
my turtle
you
died.
can't eat like human flesh because that's considered like evil.
They used to do the same thing with dogs. As soon as a dog bites a
Yeah.
person, they put the dog down. I don't know
Yeah.
if they still do it, but they used to.
Yeah,
But they do
I
that.
wouldn't
They
doubt
do
it.
that here. So like I'd assume if this was real, that crocodile would have been like hunted and put down. So that's why I'm going video game.
I just want to say, obviously, Mel can read minds because you are absolutely correct. It's video games. You caught on to me. I put crocodile in there just to throw you off. So, Ice, what do you think it is?
It sounds like the crocodile from Peter Pan.
Oh,
I've seen
yeah.
enough. I've
Oh
seen
my
enough Peter
God.
Pan to know that crocodile kept going after.
That's true.
So listen, the crocodile
I
in
can't
Peter Pan
miss
ate
that.
his hand, and
Yes,
kept
he
coming
did.
back. I
Yep.
immediately thought Peter Pan. This can't be true.
Yeah.
Now,
That's why
okay.
he has the hook, the Captain Hook.
But-
'cause he lost
Exactly.
his hand to
Yep.
the crocodile.
But
yeah.
I did say
Because you
video
guys have
game.
kids.
Yeah. I understand, Ice.
But I did say video game, though. So, do you
Gotta be a
think...
Peter Pan video game or Captain Hook video game out there somewhere.
Gotta be.
Yeah,
Gotta be.
absolutely right. So,
They,
it is
they took
100...
it on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying they took the inspiration from Peter Pan, the video game.
Right.
So you're absolutely correct. You, Ice, you and Mel are both sharing a brain cell and reading people mind because you guys were spot on. It is actually from Captain Hook, specifically
Oh.
from Kingdom Hearts.
See?
Ah.
I knew
Kingdom
it. I
Hearts,
knew it.
yeah. Nice.
It's okay. All right. So you guys are at 100%, but we got a few more. Let's see if I could trip you guys up. So next round. Man tries to warn the military of an upcoming battle against an army of dragons.
Oh,
Things got real. Let's see what you guys come up with.
This could easily be Florida Man.
he could, right? He probably on drugs or something, and
It is Florida.
Could be Skyrim though.
And I just want to point out, I absolutely love Florida, but y'all be crazy. I just got to say that.
Meme-tastic.
I'm gonna say Florida because there's some wild accusations of people out there. I'm gonna say Florida.
Okay. All right.
I'm going video game.
Okay. Video game. Ice.
Just crazy enough. Just enough crazy in there, sprinkled in there to be Florida. So I'm gonna go with Florida.
And I'm going to say Ice has Google up because it is Florida.
No. It's just got that air
Yeah.
of craziness that I
Right.
could actually believe it. Yeah.
Right.
So, like I said, this isn't long ago. So, Mr. Corey Johnson was charged with Grand Theft Auto in July of 2022. He stole a Ford F-150 pickup truck and drove it to Space Force Base to warn the government about mythical creatures, quote unquote. He told authorities that Chinese dragons were invading. So not not the European dragons, specifically the Chinese dragons.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Florida.
Yeah.
Florida Man.
I
Not
like
so bad.
how you don't even have to explain anything. You could just say Florida and it's just
Yeah.
understood. All right, so moving on. During a time traveling mishap, a man crashes his car into a mall.
A what? I'm sorry?
Okay. During a time traveling mishap, a man crashes his car into a mall.
We don't need roads where we're going or something.
there it is, Rudel.
But that's a movie, so.
So Florida man or game?
Time travel. I'm gonna say game.
Same.
Yeah, I'm feeling game.
We're all going game? The
Back to the Future, that was what it was called.
and the answer is
Oh, it's gonna be
Florida.
Oh, what? It
So-
wasn't crazy enough for me.
I thought the time travel would have been like a hint.
Yep. So a
Wait,
man.
Ace, this one's bad, right? Because you're telling us that the time travel actually existed, not this is a story.
Well,
Celia is
oh,
gonna come for you.
so-
Watch out.
Here's
Ace,
here's the
what you
thing,
say-
though.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
It could be real to that person because apparently a man driving a Dodge Challenger crashed his car into a mall, telling police he was trying to time travel. It was real to him.
Theoretically,
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong.
Tinfoil hat time.
The Rudel actually sided with Ace. I never
Oh,
thought I'd
no.
live
You love to see it.
to see this day. I
changed
never.
my mind.
You love to see
No
it.
way, Jose. I don't care if I'm wrong. I refuse to be on his side.
It's about to snow tomorrow or something. Because there
Oh
is
my
something completely wrong.
Mel, you see how they jumped me for no reason, unprovoked?
I can't believe I sided with you. Ugh. In the heebie-jeebies.
Aw.
Oh, I'm joking.
I'm crying.
You know I
on the
love you,
inside.
Ace.
You realize your words are hurting me, right? But moving on to number 5. Local news outlets blame late night television for an increase in teenage murders.
Ooh.
Read that one more time for me.
Sure. Local news outlets blame late night television for an increase in teenage murders.
Oh, not
I mean-
Florida.
I'm video game.
Yeah, video game. Sorry, I keep saying that.
Mel?
I mean, this could definitely be a true story. It's so plausible.
The news does blame everything.
Florida is known for their lovely, accurate news. People.
I'll say I'll side with everyone else. I'll say video game. It'd be a good video game story.
I kind of want it to be Florida just so.
Wow, Rudel advocating murder. Wow.
So, wait, no, that's bad.
No.
But
I just think it'd be funny, but that's morbid, so dang.
So, Mel, you said it would be a good plot for a video game, and it is because it is Persona 4. Awesome video
I
game.
knew it sounded familiar.
I never played that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people were telling me
so
about
good.
Persona 5. This is 4.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
So, but Mel, you said you don't care for turn-based, right? It is
Is it
turn-based,
turn-based?
but it's such a good story. Like, I like Persona 5 a lot, but the characters from 4 really got to me. It's a deep game. It makes you question a lot of real-life values and stuff. But I could talk about that so much in depth, but we're going to move on to the next one. All right. I'm looking at the rest of this list. All right. It is ultimately revealed that this person was stealing his twin brother's identity. Dum bum bum.
Oh.
So it's a
I've
video
seen that
game.
in an anime before.
Video
But
game
anime's not
or
video
Florida.
game.
Or maybe it's the movie Face Off. Who knows?
I'm gonna say Florida Man. Or it's Florida. It's not Florida Man. Sorry.
I'll say video game.
Okay.
I'll say Florida as well.
Florida man.
It's just it
Florida
rolls
Man
off the
strikes
tongue.
again.
It just Florida Man. And the answer is it's Florida Man.
Oh! He's trying to yell Phantom Hive.
So, in April of 2022, like I said, these stories are fairly recent. That's not long ago. Wayne Bowman pleaded guilty to stealing his twin brother's identity. He used his brother's name, social security card, and military discharge papers to apply for federally subsidized housing benefits.
Wow.
The man was out here trying to live.
Yeah.
Oh,
What happened
yeah.
to his brother?
Yeah. What was he?
Oh,
passed away?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't give that.
I didn't look too deep.
I'm
It's the
invested
mystery
in
of
this
Florida.
story.
I know.
You could say it was a face-off. Ba-dum-pum.
Get out of here.
So Ace, I can do you a quick twin story that I heard not long ago. Not necessarily from Florida. That do you even one better. This lady was dating one twin A. I'll just say twin A, and twin A died. Right.
I already know where this is going. I feel it.
She was upset, distraught, whatever. And then twin B was there. Twin B got married, kids and stuff, and she kept falling for twin B and was trying to not to fall for twin B, but twin B was there. Come to find out, twin B was actually twin A. And twin B
twist.
was the one who died.
What?
And yeah, and she was just falling for the same twin all over again.
And Ice, what episode of Jerry Springer was this?
It was not on Jerry Springer, actually.
Oh my gosh,
That's crazy.
That is insane.
Was he trying to get away from her and just kind of?
I can't quite recall all of the specific details, but I remember, she was just out like in forums and stuff, like talking about it and trying to figure out what was going on and what to do and all this stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is, I can't believe what I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
So,
Crazy.
yeah. So,
Crazy.
not the craziest twin story I've heard. And I've only heard this story like within the last couple of weeks. So, yeah.
Still very crazy. But speaking of crazy, we just have a handful more to go. All right. This one's pretty wild. After a life support system malfunctioned, man awakes and vows to avenge his spouse's death and to find his missing son. Video game of
easy.
Florida.
Video game. I know what game that is. Come on now. You gotta get better than that.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
It is
she's
Florida we're
100%.
talking about. It is Florida.
Like 200%.
Okay, I'm going with video game because she's 200%.
I too will go with video game because Rudel is absolutely sure, and I believe in Rudel.
Wow.
Can I say what game it is? 'Cause I know what it is.
Wait,
Let's find.
Okay.
Let him tell first, and then let's see.
Okay, so you are correct. It is a video game. Rudel,
Nice.
what video game is it for bonus points?
That is Fallout 4, right?
It is Fallout 4.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
That game so many times. I knew what that one was.
You
Good
could
job.
say he fell out for his boy. Fallout
Shut
Boy, get it? Okay, so really? All right. So next one. Let's see if you're confident now. Let's see if you could keep that confidence. Keep that same energy.
It's gone.
Wielding a sword, man is determined to defend his precious trash from all invaders.
Oh.
Florida man. Yeah.
Right.
Final answer. Go ahead, Ace. Let us know what it is.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Dubbed. Wait, hold up. I gotta play the sound effect because it's Florida. So, dubbed the garbage guard. Garbage guard. A man in the park attacked a jogger with a sword in an attempt to protect a plastic dump cart. It's pretty much a wheelbarrow that had been thrown out in the trash. So it's pretty insane. I actually saw a video for this. The guy gets into a dispute with this guy at the park over a wheelbarrow they find in the garbage can. Person B takes it and goes home. Then person A follows that person to their home and brings out a katana. Like a Bleach character, just drew his katana. And then what I don't get is the person wielding the katana is holding onto the barrel with one hand and swiping with his sword with the other. And then the other guy was holding the wheelbarrow, trying to pull it away and not fazed by a katana. And how bad do you need a wheelbarrow? What do you need to transport? Mind you, the wheelbarrow they found in the trash. Florida, ladies and gentlemen.
So do you want to know why I thought that was a thing? Because Florida is one of the few open sword carry states.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh,
so
I did not know that.
Yep. Florida, Virginia, Texas. I used to know them all,
Open
but
sword.
yeah, you could literally walk down the street. You do not need a license to have a sword on your hip, and you can walk down the street and just be fine.
So my dream of being a mercenary and walking around like Cloud with a busted sword on my back is possible in Florida. Wow.
Yeah.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah. There used to be a size limit in certain states, but I think most of those are gone now. But yeah, just a little fun fact. There are quite a few open sword carry states, and you don't need a license. You could literally walk down the street like a samurai and be good.
Nice.
I've always wanted to get a katana, to be honest.
I
feel like that'd be so cool.
I own several, so
Oh my god!
Wow, nice.
I'm gonna stop picking on you, Ice. But moving on. Moving on. Okay. Known as the Origami Killer, he was a serial killer who abducted young boys, used extended periods of rainfall to drown his victims, and left an orchid on their chest, along with an origami figure nearby.
I'm not laughing, but like, what if this is the same person?
Yeah.
As
Cleaner.
After he cleans,
that would be crazy.
He has 2 side jobs.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
pretty much.
Split personality. Oh my goodness.
Maybe it is the same person.
This is Florida
Maybe
man.
not.
Yeah. I would just say Florida man. I don't.
I'm gonna be the sole voice to say, nah, this is a video game.
Wow, look. Listeners, notice how Ice changed his allegiance. He was like, oh, I'm Team Rudel all the way. And left.
Betray.
But, Ice, you have betrayed well, because this is a video game that is actually the plot of Heavy Rain. Great game.
I thought I heard it somewhere, and that's the only reason why I know. I heard the plot somewhere. It was just triggering something in my mind that, hey, this is a video game plot I've heard before. Maybe not played, but heard.
And Ice, you were recently replaying the Game of Thrones Telltale game. Heavy Rain is the exact same style. So your choices matter.
It's a Telltale game?
No, it's not Telltale. It's
Okay.
I forgot the studio, but they're the same ones who did Detroit Become Human, but same style of game. And it's so good because, and I'm not going to spoil anything for our listeners, you play as 4 different characters, and your main characters can die throughout the playthrough, and that changes everything. And yeah, there's a lot of shock in that story. But moving on, I recommend it to anyone. All right, so last one. Here we go, guys. For all the marbles, this is for quadruple the points, nulling all the points previously. Man stumbles through the streets displaying zombie-like tendencies and then proceeds to bite another person's face.
Oh, that's Florida Man.
Florida Man.
That was like national news.
It was. Yeah.
I haven't heard about that in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one.
So international news.
Yeah.
I do remember that story, and people were like, oh my gosh, the CDC is clocking in, and they're like, yeah, it's not a zombie, like, chill.
We're gonna have a zombie apocalypse. Oh no.
Now, before I drop the answer, I just want to say this. Everyone says, I have a zombie plan, but you're basing zombies off what you see on the media. What if real life zombies had the power of Superman? It's just like, what now?
Then, I guess.
Yeah, just lie down. Just go to sleep. You're like, man, it's over.
All right, night. I'll see you guys next live.
But you guys,
after you give your answer, I'm going to tell you a funny story that you probably don't know. Go ahead.
You guys are half correct.
Oh,
what?
Half. Because this is Florida Man. It's 100. No, this was a Florida story. However, it is the plot for many video games, including Resident Evil. So the answer is both. But you guys still get the point. So there we go. Congratulations, everyone. And that is video game or Florida. But
So,
what were we saying?
so if you didn't know this, the government actually has a zombie apocalypse plan. If you did not know that, when zombie apocalypse were kind of a thing, and people were worried about it, they drew up a plan. And it used to be able to go on the website, on one of their websites, and actually read what the plan was. And I think a couple of people made jokes about it, like Jimmy Fallon or Stephen Colbert or something like that. But it was up there for a while. It's not up there anymore. But I'm sure the plan still exists somewhere. But again, to your point, where do you think they got this from? They're only drawing this from movies and TV and stuff like that because, I mean, you have no basis of reference. So got to do it the best way you can.
Meanwhile,
have you seen The Last of Us?
Mm-hmm.
That was like fungal.
That just means we're screwed.
The thing is, though, like that's like a real thing that happens to ants, though, right?
Is.
Like,
yes, it is.
And the whole global warming thing, where if that fungus like mutates to like go to different like species to attack and thrive off of, like that's an actual thing that could happen.
Yeah, it's scary.
Because of global warming, and that's just so scary.
So,
Although who knows how we'd react to it? We probably will just die, not become zombies. I'd hope.
Now, I'm just gonna speak only on behalf of our American correspondents, but if there was ever a zombie outbreak, just know you're screwed. Don't trust the government. Take COVID as an example. They said, hey guys, could you please wear a mask? Nah, no way, it's my American rock. And yeah, we saw how that turned out, right? But on a lighter note, guys, I want to talk to you guys about Gamescom because segue. I tried to clean it up. But yeah, I want to talk about Gamescom because there are a ton of games. Now, we can't get through all of them because that is a whole episode and then some. But I do want to
going on too.
Yeah, exactly. It's still going on as a time of recording. But I do want to go over some of the bigger games, talk about some of the big highlights. And yeah, I want to ask you guys, out of Gamescom, is there any particular game or games, I should say, that sticks out to you right away that it's like day one purchase, must have, or something that impressed you? And let's start off with Mel. You're our guest. The floor is yours. Don't let Rudel steal it from you, though.
Hey, I can be quiet sometimes.
So, From Gamescom? Like who won or
Yeah, just like
just well,
what did you
okay.
like? Anything you saw that interests you?
I mean, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I bought it day one and I haven't finished it to be honest because I've been busy with all these other new games that keep coming out. Um, but yeah, that was because I binged the Breath of the Wild. I just play that like every day almost. But yeah, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was my number one.
So you think that's gonna
Um,
get Game of the Year? Is that what you mean?
Ooh.
I don't know. There's so many good games out there.
Too many.
Yeah, it's way too many. But I definitely think it's up there.
Like this
Um,
year, so many like Game of the Year tier games have been released. It's actually ridiculous.
yeah.
I
And then
There is one particular game I think that's gonna take it, but I'm gonna save that for later because we definitely gonna talk about it. I've been vocal about it.
Mhm.
Now, Rudel, what about you? Is there anything that you saw that impressed
Uh,
you or anything?
well, there's a couple of games on there that I'm thinking about checking out, like Zenless Zone Zero,
ZZZ. This,
yeah.
ZZZ. Yeah, that one. Because I played a lot of games by Hoyoverse, and I tend to like them, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just probably gonna check this one out. And I don't know, seems pretty cool.
all
It's
right, so
post-apocalyptic. And then there's another one. Where is it? Oh, this one. Black Myth Wukong.
yes.
I
Wukong.
know next to nothing about it, but visually it looks stunning. Right? I think it's
Mm-hmm.
Unreal Engine. Um,
Oh, yeah.
but like I don't know. I just feel like it would be hopefully it's not a flop because there's like a lot of games that come out with that and they're just very bad and buggy. But like this one, I don't know. It just looks really nice. Looks really good.
I know this one's been in development for a while because I
Mm.
know this wasn't
I
the first
recognize
time
the
they
name.
announced it. They showed
No.
it like a good while ago, and I remember when it was shown, people were like, "Oh no, it looks too good. It has to be fake." But yeah, it's looking really good.
I'm kind of getting like I don't want to say Elden Ring vibes from it, but like Soul vibes, you know?
Mm,
Hmm, I could see that. I was thinking like God of War, the way how it was, but yeah, I could see
Mm.
that as a Souls game. Ice, any
But no, it
interest?
just looks really good.
Do you have any
Yeah,
interest in Wukong?
yeah. So Black Myth Wukong looks amazing. I do believe they have already described it as Souls-like. So you're
Okay.
Mm.
going to
mm.
get a Souls vibe from it. So if you're into that and you like that struggle, then it's all for
Oh,
you.
definitely struggle.
I will probably just watch y'all play it. To be honest with you, no matter how good it looks, the Souls life is not for me. But not to take away from it, it looks great. It's got the story of the Monkey King, which is where we get a lot of anime protagonists from, like Goku and what was his name in God of High School. But that whole Monkey King
Mm.
legend, Son Goku, all of that, it all comes from where this game is based on. So it should be pretty good, both story wise and visually. It looks great. I think that actually, to be honest with you, is probably be my only day one purchase if I was to play Souls games. Mortal Kombat 1 has been something that's been talked about for a while. I think it's going to be
Mhm.
great. I think that they have done great with the Mortal Kombat storyline ever since Armageddon. That's just been keeping. You would think that a game that's over 20 years old, they wouldn't have a whole lot of story left to tell, but they keep doing it. So I would play that just for that, just for the storyline. And then I'm a Sonic fan, so
Mm-hmm.
not a
Mm.
whole lot to talk about there. But Sonic Superstars is probably something I'll get. Maybe not day one, but it's definitely something that looks good. Everything else, not so much. But that's pretty much my 90-second recap.
Yeah.
Sonic Superstars does look amazing, but
Mm.
my gosh, that Mortal Kombat trailer. It's like every single trailer they drop, they keep outdoing themselves. Because after the Reptile trailer, I was like,
Mm.
yeah, you can't get more fearsome than that. And then
Mm-hmm.
this one dropped, and it's like, oh, this is crazy. Like, so as I don't know if I'm gonna get Mortal Kombat 1, believe it or not, despite all the praise, and I think it's a great looking game, but I was never a fan of the Mortal Kombat fighting controls. I grew up playing Street Fighter, so I'm used to quarter
Fair.
circles and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
it looks very appealing. Now, Mel, I know you said that you like your horror games. So I don't know if you saw the Mortal Kombat trailers, but how do you do with like blood and gore and guts and stuff?
Well, so like it's weird. Like I don't normally like that gore in movies or like on TV, but I don't mind it in video games. It's very weird. So yeah, I don't mind it when I'm playing and slashing and people.
So as long
That's
as you're
fine.
the one ripping out intestines, you're
Yeah,
okay with
exactly.
it.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that perspective is different. That POV. But
Now, I know you saw it from the MK1 trailer, a previous one, but when Liu Kang had the guy up near the black hole, that right there, how do you think
Yeah.
about that? I really want to know what goes through these devs' minds. That's like, yeah, that would be cool. Like, yeah, let's choke him with the intestines. How do you think of that?
I I mean, at the end of the last without giving away too much, at the end of the last game, and I guess the game is really old now, Liu Kang was more or less the last man standing, like in the universe. So I imagine that like once you open up like the elder gods to playable characters, that's the only way you could go with it, right? Like there's not a whole lot else you can do because it just can't be regular Liu Kang, the dragon fire and turn it into a dragon. We've done all that, right? So you got to
Yeah,
go somewhere, and why not just go all the way? So yeah, I think it's gonna be
they
great.
they went to
Hmm.
infinity and beyond, literally.
Hmm. Well, if you think about it, though, they've been getting crazier because if you remember, like Injustice and all of these other games where they have these like super finishing combos,
Mhm.
they've been getting more cinematic, and I do like that in fighting games. How like they're incorporating like cinematic moves to the regular move set. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and like I said, someone who's a casual when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it just looks appealing, and
Hmm.
that appeal sells the game. Because
Hmm.
let's say even if you're not a big Mortal fighting game fan, or you're very casual in it, just watching it gets people hyped. That gets more eyes on the product, more people wanting to know about it, more viewership, all that. And in long term, that helps the game grow. So yeah, shout out to you, MK fans. You guys are gonna be
Hmm.
eating good. But speaking of
Yes.
fighting games, they showed off a new trailer for Tekken 8, which is gonna be good, and they showed off quite a few new characters that I'm excited about. I do enjoy Tekken. It's something I play on and off, but yeah, that trailer looked really good. Are any of you guys interested in getting Tekken?
Eh,
no, it's not really my thing.
yeah,
I
not
mean,
my cup of tea.
yeah, I mean, I like Tekken. I used to play it back in the day. I have not played um a good. I have not played Tekken really in a long time, so I couldn't really tell you,
Hmm.
where it is. But I don't know. You strike me as a Yoshimitsu player, because
Wow!
because you're toxic, and
Wow!
either that or how wrong,
Called
It's
it.
toxic.
yeah, you're
I
absolutely
I'm actually a Oscar main. Thank you very much.
get out of here. I don't believe you.
This I'm legit a Oscar main, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
This man called me out with a troll. No, wow, the slander. But so what I thought was like really good and caught my eye. Some of these games were previously announced, some weren't. Payday 3, I'm looking forward to. I played Payday 2 a lot. I think it's a fun game. It's one of those where the the online community makes or breaks it. If you're playing with your friends, fantastic. Offline, not at all. But together with friends, Payday 2 was amazing. So I'm waiting for Payday 3. Also, Killing Floor 3 was announced. Have any of you
Oh,
guys played that before?
I have played the other one, the previous one.
A Mel is a
Yeah.
person of culture.
Oh,
Yeah, Killing Floor was so fun. It's
yeah.
so if you guys never played it, it's kind of like a zombie horde mode. Think of Gears of War horde mode,
You
or
gotta clear every wave of zombies. Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
And you, of course, you have the different enemy types. Like you have the strong
Yeah.
tank, one that blows up, and so forth. And then at the end of the run, you have to fight a boss. And there's of course different weapons and abilities. It's a good time. It's just like one of those games you could just pick up and play and turn your brain off. You know what I mean?
Have fun
Yeah.
with some friends. Yeah.
So Mel, are you gonna pick that up day one or?
Probably not. I didn't even finish the first one or the previous one. It's just something that, like I said, we picked up with some friends and we just play it on and off.
Casual.
Yeah.
And I think that's good because like sometimes with as gamers we set the expectations way too high. It's like everything has to be a top tier story, the best visual graphics and everything. But sometimes just having a good game to play with your friends, just something to say it's fun, even if it's not like a great game. You know,
Yeah.
those experiences I think are the best, and sometimes we forget about that.
Speaking of great games that you can play with your friends, have you guys heard of this amazing game called Baldur's Gate?
Transition.
No,
The plug.
they need to sponsor me. Larian Studios, come on.
Sponsor me.
So
I actually remember one game that I saw on my list is Nightingale.
Oh,
I heard that was a good
heard
game.
about that one.
Yeah.
oh,
It's like,
that's the survivor
it's-
one, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a survival game like Sons of the Forest, which I loved both the Forest and the Sons of the Forest. But it's more like it's like set in a Victorian kind of gaslamp vibe, so it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, it does look
Nice.
like a good game. I did have that on my list. I think they showed that off originally at the Game Awards, and then they
Yeah.
went silent for a while.
I
but
saw it
looks good.
somewhere.
So Mel, all that means is when I get it, when you're building your base, you have a place where I could stay to protect me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then lastly, there's one game that caught me off guard. I don't know if you guys saw it. I think it was announced today or maybe yesterday, called Project Mugen.
Mugen?
Yeah, Mugen.
I haven't heard that one.
All right, so the best way to explain it, it looks 100. It's 100% anime. It looks like
Oh, okay.
think Genshin Impact, like that levels of anime,
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah.
But you're traversing through the city and you're fighting. It looks like it's graffiti turned to life. It reminds me a lot of Spider-Man because you have the characters web slinging and they're running across the buildings like on the side of it. Look it up, guys. It's called Project Mugen. If you haven't seen it, I think it was dropped today, but
Looks cute.
it looks amazing. And it's one of those where it's just like, dang, this. You know what I compare it to?
Kind of
there-
cyberpunk vibes.
There was this
Minus the
game,
whole cyberpunk.
I'm trying to remember the name of it. There was this Korean game that was being made, and everyone said it looks too good. It looks too good to be real. And that's what it looks like. Whatever that game was, it's like a monster catching game that when I think about
Oh, Monster Hunter World
no,
or Hunter Rise?
not that. It's I'll pull it up later, but it reminds me of that where it looks a little bit too good. But I'm excited. Oh, it was announced actually 2 days ago. It looks like. But yeah, Project Mugen. For all my anime lovers, that's out there. And then lastly, the last game I want to talk about personally, for my fellow RPG fans out there, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. This game has been on off for so long, kind of like a Duke Nukem Forever kind of game.
Oh, I don't like wishy-washiness.
Yeah. Nah, I forgot about the game because I said it's not going to come out or whatever. And if you look up the trailers for Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, it looks fantastic. It's supposed to be like a single player RPG, and I'm all about my RPGs. It gives off Monster Hunter vibes.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But very anime. If I know it's not everyone's style, but if you like anime like me, hey, check it out.
It's very cute. I like it, yeah.
Hey,
February
there you go.
1st, 2024.
And that is fine because we got too many games to play. And
Yeah, so
Yeah.
many
Way too
games.
And that's one thing I could say about this. It's like, what Gamescom, we are eating good as gamers because there's something for everyone, literally.
there is, yeah.
Yeah, if you like action RPGs or if you want a cute farming sim, they have that too.
You seen the Plucky Squire? I've seen it at a couple of places announced.
Plucky
Anyway.
Squire.
It's not my type of game at all, but it looks so adorable. Like, it looks like something you could play, like, if you're, like, younger. Like, adolescent.
Oh, this game. Okay, yeah. I remember seeing
It reminds me of
Yeah.
a game I played when I was little with, like, my brother and friends, and I don't remember what it was called. But it
that
was like, it
just
was
a
like,
couple years ago for you. No.
oh my gosh.
And that's why we brought Mel along.
Hey.
That's right. Ice
my
with the
goodness.
sis. I love it. Well,
Sorry.
No,
It was
no.
a good opportunity. I had to take it.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Shots have been fired.
I forget what game it was though, but it just gives me vibes from that, whatever it was when I was a kid. Which was
Nice.
like 2 decades ago, maybe a little bit less.
I can't remember what it was, but I believe we did talk about Plucky Squire before on the podcast. Because now I'm looking at pictures, I remember this. You come off the pages of
It was
a
like the 2D to
children book.
3D thing.
Yeah. I want to pick that up. I think I'll try it out.
Lucky Squire.
I just think it looks really cute, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of a unique idea,
Yeah, so Mel,
which is kind of rare nowadays.
It's like you're on the pages of a children's book, and then you could come out in the world, and I don't know. I think I like Toy Story when I see it when you're in the world. But it looks
Little
pretty
Big
good.
Planet, is that what I'm thinking of?
Oh, I
Maybe?
love Little Big Planet. Yeah.
Like the little sack people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I just
Or,
hear
It
Mel's?
Takes Two.
No.
Huh?
That game's so silly.
Actually, I stand
What did you-
corrected. Did I hear Rudel say she likes to sack people? Oh my gosh, murderous.
The sack
Murderous.
people? Like, they made it like hacky sack? Do you guys
No.
have hacky sacks in USA?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
no.
Wasn't sure with, how Ace was behaving.
Ice, you want to back me up? Getting attacked?
Absolutely not.
Wow!
He's just sitting
Yeah.
back enjoying.
Bro code has been shattered. Wow! But speaking of shattered, guys, I want to talk about how the internet is breaking down because they have been shattered by Star Force. That's right. That's right.
Starfield.
Starfield.
So sorry, bud.
It's okay. I'll edit it out so I'm never wrong.
You were like on a roll there too and everything. Oh no.
I'm still gonna claim the crown as Transition King. I'm still gonna hold that.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to give it up without a fight. But yeah,
Okay. Dignified.
I do want to talk about Starfield, because there has been a lot of controversy, a lot of hate, a lot of drama aimed at Starfield. I don't know why. I just think people have turned on Bethesda for whatever reason, and Starfield's been getting ridiculous amounts of hate. So I want to talk about that because earlier I did mention there are plenty of games of Game of the Year, and I've been saying it from the very beginning. I think Starfield is going to be big, and I feel like it's going to take Game of the Year. So, guys, I wanted to ask you, with this Starfield hate, first off, do you think it's justified? Because,
No. Sorry.
Jeez.
Rudel, you have the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand the point of hating something, Like, what? You
Especially
don't
when it
like
hasn't
it,
come out yet.
don't interact with it, don't look at it, Like, don't shit on it, because then you're just being mean and malicious for no reason. Like, I don't know. Like, these people have worked hard on a game that they obviously care about, and, their whatever, the title screen got leaked and it's
Yeah.
so boring. Blah
And-
blah blah.
And that's what I was gonna
Okay.
say. Yeah, like they're basing everything off of the title screen, right, Rudel? It makes no sense. It makes no sense to
like-
judge an entirety of a game.
Don't judge
On
a
the
book by
menu.
its cover. Right?
So,
Exactly.
Last time I
like,
checked, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ice.
I was gonna say they're not judging the gameplay. They're not judging any of the other screenshots that we might have gotten. They're solely basing this on the menu screen. And to judge a game before it's even come out, like before you have played an alpha or a beta or anything like that, it's ridiculous. I'm 100% with Rudel on this one. It makes no sense.
Are these people not familiar with Bethesda main menus as well? Have you seen Skyrim's main menu?
Oh
It's a
my
black
goodness!
screen
Thank
with, like,
you.
mist going through and like the
Thank you,
symbol.
Rudel.
That's clean.
Thank
And like
you.
this one with like the planet and the sun behind it, it's clean. It's like
Yeah,
very
very
modern. It fits the theme of like a Starfield where you'd assume it'd be like more modernized, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And,
Yeah, they're
know.
saying that they rushed it, and I don't.
I think it's a design choice from what has been leaked and what we can see.
But
I
my
just-
thing is,
Sorry, I had to rant.
does it even matter? Because anytime I put on the game, I'm like, press start, and then I move on. Like, is that anything to complain
the title
about?
screens aren't what makes the game. Like, you play the game first. It's
Yep.
yeah.
Exactly. And then, if you guys didn't know, there are people online boasting, I have 1,000 fake accounts. I'm going to review bomb it. And first off, review bombing, it's just like you are actively telling me you don't have anything to do with your life. You got all the free time. Because if you didn't know what review bombing is, for our listeners, these people make fake accounts, then they put negative reviews on something for whatever reason, just so it would detract people. What is the point? Like, the game's not even out. And literally what you were saying, Rudel, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. No one's forcing you to play it. No one has put in a Ray Zapper. See, I'm doing that for you too. Don't demonetize me. No one's putting a Ray Zapper to your head and saying, hey, buy this game or else. Like,
Drop you down and force you to play. I just don't understand the point of hating something when you can just choose to not interact. Like,
but yet,
if they
Rudel
were being
hates
like
me.
malicious and horrible, then like I could understand hating it. But they're just a game. They're just doing their thing. I don't know. It's weird.
It's
And
very
this is
weird.
actually the first I've heard about them like attacking Starfield. Like, I don't know.
And,
It's been out for a little while, them
The-
hating on the menu and stuff like that. But also, Ace, I cannot recall a successful attack, review bomb on a game that was actually successful. I have seen it work for TV series and movies, but I cannot remember. I cannot remember a successful time when a game was review bombed and it actually worked, because the gaming community is a little different, right? We're going to go out and we're going to play the game ourselves. We're going to find a key or get a key from somewhere. There are ways, right? And then also across different platforms, right? So, you're going to review bomb it, but, that might not hit the Xbox community or the PlayStation community. So,
True.
The threat seems kind of empty to me. They have no life and they're going to try there, but I don't think it's going to work, because the gaming community is a little different than, like I said, like reviewing a movie or something like that. You can tank a movie by reviews. You can't tank a game in the same way. I mean, you can, but it's a little harder.
Yeah.
Very true. And it's not like, to go off what you were saying, it's not like me, who's been waiting so long for this game, to just see one negative review and just be like, well, that's it. I can't give them my money. Like, no, that's not how things work. But I do want to ask you guys something, because I've seen this thrown around. So Starfield is exclusive to Xbox and PC, and it's not on PlayStation. So a lot of people have been bringing up the old console wars nonsense, saying, oh, PlayStation fanboys are mad. PlayStation fanboys are doing this because they don't have the game and this and that. Like, let me ask you guys personally, and I know we all have...
Sony.
Huh?
Probably because of Sony. They're probably trying to like wrestle some weird deal out of Bethesda. And Bethesda's probably like, nope.
But you
Think
see,
so, just because we've always had console exclusive games, and I don't understand this because where were all these people when Final Fantasy came out? Like, there was none of that same talk when Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy has been an exclusive thing for a while. And it's just like Halo, right? Halo has been exclusive to Xbox for years and will in perpetuity be exclusive to Xbox, right? And we don't know. Let's not even get on Nintendo, because half of Nintendo titles you will never see Mario on a PlayStation. I can just go ahead and say that with confidence, right? So, and Sonic, right? Same thing. Well, Sonic is a little round, but anyway, my point
Sonic
being,
is selling himself to everybody at this point.
Yeah, Sonic's is out there. But my point of all of that being is that we have had exclusive releases on a lot. It's like people are going to have their flagships. They're allowed to have their flagships exclusive to their console, and I don't see any problem with it whatsoever. So
exactly. I don't get the whole console war thing. Well, this one's better than this one. Why does it matter? As long as someone's playing it and enjoying it, so what? Like, do you not have literally anything else going on to worry about? Now,
do you have a life?
See, I didn't say it, but yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, I can say it for us.
Rudel, protect me.
But Ace, I'll also tell you that the console wars between the gaming community is not, I don't think it's what's fueling all of this. I think the actual true issue behind it is the fact that these games are not crossplay yet, because by default a lot of the gaming community want games to be crossplay, right? Like, you know, because like a lot of people are set in their ways, right? Like,
I got a game for you if you want crossplay. Have you guys heard of Baldur's Gate 3?
Oh my goodness.
You know what, Rudel? That is a good point. No, you're fine, because it's a fantastic game. Almost as fantastic as Final Fantasy 14, which you can play for free up to the first expansions. That's right.
Free doesn't good though. No, I'm joking. It's probably amazing.
And I should mention that this stream is sponsored by Square. Please, I want to sponsor Square, please. I love you guys. I love your game. But go on, Ice. You were saying.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
No, you're fine. And you know, see what they don't put on the brochures. You got to pay for Final Fantasy 14 monthly, right, Ace?
This is World of Warcraft 2.0.
Okay, well, hold on. Game Pass you got to pay for. The gym you got to pay for. Like, who's not paying for something? Netflix you got to pay for.
No, you could just pirate. No, joking.
Wow.
But to the point, the last point I was going to try to make was that I don't think the console wars are as rigid as they used to be. Now that we are getting some crossplay games, we are able to play with our friends, you know, like on Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a recent one that's crossplay. And the more that they give this to us, people are just going to get set in their ways. Like, they're going to get to a point where, like my son, right? Like he we just got him a PS5, right? So he'll probably be PS5 for the rest of his life. You know, and that's usually how it is, right? Like, whatever system you go with, my best friend is Team Xbox, and all of his kids play on the Xbox. They will probably be an Xbox family, and it's kind of set. So I don't see the console wars in the same way that they were, like, you know, 10, 15 years ago. You know, more people just are pushing for a cross-platform, and you know, it's not gonna be that much better. There are some nuances, and I can actually put you on if you ever wanted to bring this onto another podcast. I can tell you somebody who can really talk to you about it, because I had a very in-depth conversation, and the reason behind why you get one console over the other is kind of really personal choices. Like, where are you? How much do you have to spend? What are you looking for? There are a lot of factors in it, and there are people more intelligent than me, but I go to these people when I have to make a decision. So yeah.
I do want to say, you hinted at something I wanted to talk about. Like, I feel personally, in my opinion, the console wars are long dead, gone, and buried. And one reason for that, well, first off, they're companies. They are battling against each other because they are companies. But this whole drama that us as gamers have built up throughout the years, I feel like you don't hear so much about console wars anymore, is because the majority of people who are saying that, they've grown up. It's a new generation playing. Like you just said, Ice, your son is playing. Mel, I know you have children, and I'm sure you probably let them game as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
I believe I saw, was it, I'm trying to remember, I think you were playing Stray.
Yes.
And one of your kids was there too. I think
Yeah.
they just got off.
They like to show up every now and then.
So it's like, it's a new generation. So I feel like that whole console wars that we grew up with is not really there anymore. You know, and aside from that, let's be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna say it. Everyone always said Xbox versus PlayStation. Nintendo was just known to be in the back. Nintendo won the console wars. I don't care what anyone said, because I look at it like this: you had your Xbox people, you had your PlayStation people, but guess what? PlayStation and Xbox people both had something from Nintendo, whether it was a GameCube or Nintendo DS. So yeah, Nintendo was secretly winning that.
True.
But with that being said, I know it's the next generation, so console wars is different. It's for the young. So Rudel, you want to say anything about it?
Console wars?
Because you and
Pointless.
Ice's son is like the same age as you, so yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Excuse me. One, I don't know
What,
how
you
old your
farted?
son is, but two, I'm not younger. If that's what you're implying.
I just want to throw it out to our listeners that Rudel has bullied me constantly. I am just lashing back in self-defense.
You know,
And you know
younger
what?
I am, the more vitality I have, and the longer I'll live. So I'm winning.
Oh jeez.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Rudel
So
said
it's a
they will.
compliment. It's a
Rudel
compliment.
said they will
Call me.
outlast us all. I get it.
She rolled a natural 20 on that one. And I just want to say for our listeners, if you're Team Rudel, leave a like on this video. If you're
Comment down below, Team Rudel.
And if you're Team Ace, leave a like on this video. You know, hit that subscribe button too. You know, you might as well. You're already there. And yeah, leave a comment below. But with that being said, guys, I truly believe Starfield is going to be big. I have been avoiding spoilers. I have been avoiding leaks. I don't do that nonsense. I'm patient. I could wait. But
Yeah.
Starfield, from what I'm hearing from people who's experienced it at Gamescom, because they have booth and stuff, I've been hearing nothing but good things, and I feel like we have a next long lifer game, similar to Skyrim or Grand Theft Auto 5. I feel like this is going to stick the landing. Now, I do want to ask you guys, and I want to hear all your opinions on this. Are you picking up Starfield? Have you warmed up to it? Because I know at first a lot of people were like, I'm not sure, you know, they were skeptical, which is fair. But I've been saying from the beginning, I think this game is going to be top tier. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to live again? Is it going to be part of the test of time? Or is it just going to be a meh?
Well, Bethesda they kind of always put out bangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Skyrim, Oblivion, Fallout, whatever. Like, they're all really, really good. And they've all lasted, like, over time. And so I can't really imagine them putting out something, like, less. I don't know how it'll beat, like, Skyrim, because that thing is legendary.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's literally
I
on
mean,
everything. Literally.
I'm definitely gonna get Starfield eventually. Probably not day one, because I got too many games to play right now on Baldur's Gate.
That's a-
But no,
And
it
that's-
looks. I feel like it'll be great.
Okay.
I actually have it
Hopefully.
pre-installed because it's on Game Pass.
Like
Oh,
I
nice.
said, woman of
You are
culture.
ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you gotta stream it, and then I can like play it vicariously through you.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Now,
Yeah.
before I get your opinion, Ice Mel, I gotta ask you: do you have any idea of how you want to play? Because I want to be a space bounty hunter. I want to live that cowboy bebop life in Starfield.
Actually, I'm just gonna like I haven't looked at it at all. Like I'm just gonna go in just surprised and
Nice.
go from there. I just want to experience it fully. So
And
yeah,
that's like a lot
Oh,
of
that'd be
times I
great.
think that's the best way to go.
yeah.
Now, Ice, what
Oh, yeah.
about you?
Oh, I'm probably the only one here that's not likely to play it day one, only because, like I just said, like a few minutes ago, I just bought a PS5 for my son. I can't drop $1,000 on a next gen console,
Yeah.
next gen consoles for me and him. So nah, I probably, unless I just get something like, unless I get like an Xbox or find a inexpensive one, I'll be watching y'all on y'all streams playing it, unless something changes here. So just I gotta wait a little bit.
Yeah.
But
And I have two kids, so yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
of them.
But look on the bright side, you're getting Spider-Man, so you're gonna be fine, man. You're gonna be busy.
He is all sports games. I can't get him to
Oh,
play. Yep, he's all Madden
Mm.
and stuff like that. So I couldn't pay him to play another game. So
Get him some NHL stuff.
that might be a good idea. I might be able to get him into that.
Get him into hockey.
That's a
As
good
a
idea.
Canadian, I must
How
preach.
how old is he?
He's
Can I ask
9.
him? He's 9.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an 8-year-old son.
Okay, yeah.
Aw.
Yep, my son is 9 and my daughter is 4.
Oh, and I have a daughter that's almost 12.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's good to have another parent on here. We need to have you back.
I'm a pet parent.
Exactly.
I've got 2 cats. Da-da-da-da.
And geez, real side note, quick question. Specifically for Mel and I, since you guys are the only parents here, when it comes to gaming with your children, I just wanted to ask you, is it something that you hope they get into? Is it something you're trying to get them into? Do you still feel like you have enough time to game while being a parent? Because being a parent is a full-time job,
yeah, no, absolutely. Like I've always been gaming. As when I grew up, my dad was always into games, and so it's just like a lifestyle for us. I mean, I do have limits for them because I don't want them being stuck playing video games all day. So I limit them in that. But yeah, I mean, it's something that I want them to enjoy as well as I do. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll say the same thing. I do want to enjoy games with them. I'm not really a big sports fan, so I'll just sit there and watch him play. But we do play Roblox together. He's expressed to me he wants to play Fortnite. So there are games like he's in that phase where like he's just now graduating from like tablet gaming to console gaming. So like he wasn't always playing it, but now he's getting more into it. So probably be another year or two before we actually start playing games together that we both like. But like I said, I'll get on my tablet and play Roblox with him all the time. So like we definitely do that. And my daughter has expressed interest that she wants to game with us too, and she does play some Roblox games with him. So I know it's coming. It's just they just have to get to a certain age before you can really like go into it with them.
It's pretty heartwarming. I will say really quick that one of my fondest memories growing up is when I was in elementary school and my mother was teaching me how to play the NES. Yes, I'm old. We're like sitting down on the ground and like I'm sitting like in between her legs and I'm holding she's holding the controller and she's like letting me push the buttons because I was too young to. I was just a child, and just playing Super Mario for the first time. I still remember that heartwarming. And whenever I have kids, 100% they are going to play video games. I'm going to sneak it into their lunch bags, whatever. They're like, "Dad, a DS? So where's my sandwich for lunch?" It's like, "Nope, play it." But with that being said, I want to wrap up with a final question for you guys. A would you rather question. And I don't believe I asked this before. So here we go. You could only keep one. Now, first off, is anyone vegan, vegetarian, anything like that?
I eat food.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I think Yeah, same here. We're all good.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, Mel. I am surprised you eat anything besides boba, since you are the
Oh.
boba queen. That's
Wow.
I've had
I am just
tapioca pudding before. Is it like that? But like,
Yeah,
you
the
know,
texture.
drink
Yeah.
version?
I mean, it's basically you can put tapioca, the balls, into any drink and make it bubble. Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be tea, but that's it's boba tea. But you can
What if I
make
could
a
do it with
strawberry.
like a coffee thing?
Right, like you can make an iced coffee and put some tapioca, like
Oh.
boil some tapioca in there.
I'm just
But
gonna
there's
make
different
it.
flavors of tapioca, so I could go on about this, but I don't want to.
Next
Make
podcast
this
idea:
about-
tapioca talk.
Yeah.
so with that being
Anyways.
said, guys, all right. Okay, so would you rather you could only keep one, the others are erased from existence, Thanos snapped, gone. So here we go. You have pork, beef, and chicken. You could only keep one. What are you keeping?
I'm keeping chicken.
That was a
I'm
very
also
fast
keeping-
answer.
I'm also keeping chicken. Like,
I'm not
even a
keeping
question.
pork. I know that much. But beef to pork, steak, guys, steak.
But with
But
chicken,
chicken
you can
is
make
so versatile.
you can exactly you can make
But, like,
chicken into a lot of things.
My
Yeah.
favorite dish, though, is this Korean dish called bulgogi. I did not pronounce it properly. I'm so
bulgogi,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
But, like, that's made with beef, right? And
Yeah.
it's so good. I bet you could make it with chicken, but,
Mhm.
like, would it be the same?
Probably
So
not.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
the
like,
texture.
tacos, I don't do chicken tacos. I've done chicken tacos, though.
So,
Oh, it's so good.
Rudel, you said you're taking out pork for sure, correct?
Oh, yeah, hell no.
Oh.
I don't like pork except for bacon.
Yeah, and okay, so when
It's not worth it.
when I asked myself this question, I ruled out pork immediately because besides bacon, it's like, what am I eating as pork? I don't care for pork chops or anything like that. So
I don't like ham.
pork is easy.
Like,
Exactly.
you guys ever had Canadian bacon, as you guys call it? We call it back
Yes.
bacon.
Yes,
Oh,
I
Like,
have.
that stuff's good. I'm not keeping pork for that, though. Like,
Yeah.
no.
You see, Mel, I personally chose chicken as well. And same thing you said, it's so versatile. Now, I love beef. I'm a burger and fries kind of guy.
Burgers? I'm not giving up burgers. Come
But
on now.
but chicken, like, okay, any burger you have, you can replace the protein with chicken. I know it's not the same, but think about all the chicken dishes you're giving up. You're giving up wings right off the bat.
I don't like chicken wings, though.
Well, you're not human.
I don't like chicken wings. I'm so weird.
That is very weird.
And then think about every culture, literally every culture has a chicken dish.
I mean, there's like chicken curry, there's fried chicken, there's there's all kinds of chicken.
There's beef.
It's really good.
Stew.
Chicken dumplings.
There's chicken soup.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chicken
You
is
know-
just goated.
I think I am just gonna go with beef. I'm gonna be the weird one. I can't give up steak.
But okay, let me ask you this, Rudel. How
Yeah.
often are you eating steak?
Like 2 times a year, honestly.
Yeah, you see?
But I love it. So
How-
Steak is more expensive. when you go
How do
out.
you eat your steak, Rudel?
I like it
Ooh.
medium rare.
Hey,
Ooh.
woman of culture.
Imagine. I'll take it well done.
I can't do a medium rare. I'll do a solid medium, but I can't do medium rare. I feel like it's
Yeah.
still mooing at me.
It's too much blood.
Yeah.
for me, too.
No, I like it
Yeah.
nice and pink and juicy.
You mean red?
Right.
Oh yeah. Red.
I'm gonna take
One
the
of
high
those
road on
colors.
that one. But yeah, yeah, it's like beef is a hard one. That is giving up a lot because
I
right
cook
away
a lot more with beef than chicken. In my defense,
you're losing tacos. You're losing beef tacos, and that hurts.
using tacos, stews, soups. Like beef is in a lot of stuff.
But you lose just as much with chicken, though.
I feel like that's something I noticed when I went to the States one time. Is that like I was down in Florida, fun fact. There was a lot more like dishes that had chicken in it instead of what you would typically have like with beef up here. Yeah.
Now,
I don't know.
I do want to just bring up one one quick thing since we're talking about burgers and chickens and whatnot. I don't know if it's the same in. I don't know if it's funny enough. I'm gonna eat a burger for lunch, but I don't know if it's the same in Canada. But here in America, typically with burgers, they're stacked. You'll have a double stack, depending on where you go. It might have triple. But have you realized when it comes to chicken dishes, like at least with sandwiches, they never stack the chicken. It's very rare. You see like two chicken
true, yeah.
And I just wonder why. Is it because it's too thick?
I mean, I think it's maybe. I don't know.
Chicken scares me too. Salmonella. Like you don't cook it right.
And you can't get something from beef? Mad cow disease. Hello.
But also, chicken can be healthier in a sense because if you have high cholesterol, you definitely should stay away from beef. Things like that.
You bring up a great point. You could have grilled chicken, but you can't have grilled. What? Well, wait a minute. You can't have a healthier version of beef. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they have less saturated fat than beef, for sure. Because I have high cholesterol. It runs in my family, so I always had to be mindful of that and not eat too much beef. Something I'm working on.
Speaking of beef, I got beef with ice. But with that being said, this has been another episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast. The heck? Wow!
Shots fired.
No, the backstab. The backstab. But guys, that has been another episode of the Digital Arcade Podcast. That was episode 5. I thank you all for coming. You all have been great. I love to see your faces and love hearing you guys here on the podcast. So with that being said, let's start it off with Rudel. Tell the good people where they can find you. What are you doing?
All right. Yeah. You guys can find me on basically all platforms: Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Rudel Poodle. Yeah.
Rudel Poodle.
And I shall be usually stream like Genshin and recently Baldur's Gate.
I was gonna wait for that. Mentioning that.
Yep. Okay, I can't believe I almost missed that one. Yep. Sponsor me, Larian Studios, please. I love your game. It's so good. Anyway.
And so Ice, Mr. Ice Cold VSOP, despite our beef, tell the people where they can find you. Tell them what you're up to.
They can find me at Ice Cold VSOP on Twitch. I am quote unquote a variety streamer, but they don't always let me play video games on my channel. So who knows what you'll find when you come there? But come through. It's usually a good time.
Nice.
And Ace can attest to that because his number one command on my channel is freeze. So complete with a joke. So you should know.
Yeah. And with that, I also want to give a shout out to our lovely guest, Miss Melsplat herself. So Mel, tell the good people where they can find you, plug what you're working on. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, you can also find me on Twitch as Melsplat, and also on TikTok. I'm trying to get on TikTok, but still not really know much about it. Instagram, but yeah, mainly on Twitch, and I stream as much as I can when I can. Right now I'm getting through Remnant 2.
Nice.
Yeah. So just find me as a fun, chill, chatty stream, and just love to hang out with everyone.
You love to hear it. And Mel, it has been awesome having you as a guest on today's episode. I'm sorry, what?
No, I was going to say I absolutely loved being here. I'm getting to know you guys too.
Hey,
thank you.
You know,
it's nice meeting you.
It's nice. It's nice to have someone positive on the show who doesn't attack me at every moment, and some Canadians, but we'll just leave it there.
Hey, I gotta break your stereotypes that we're all nice little pushers. Look at the little Canadian.
You know, they told me you were like
Maybe
Robin
Sarah.
Sparkle. You're nothing like her. But
Oh, no.
with that being said,
Be the boy
guys,
wave.
my name is Brandon, aka the Voltic Ace. You can find me on Twitch at the Voltic Ace. Don't forget the. And also, you can find all the links down to our personal YouTube channels and Twitch accounts down below. And I highly recommend checking out all these wonderful streamers. They are all awesome in their individual rights. So with that being said, that's an episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, share, all that stuff. You guys been on YouTube before, you know the deal. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
Later.